Today, I'm going to talk about recent developments from Tata Motors as they've launched India's first hydrogen truck trials. I'm also going to cover Spain's Enagas as it's committing over 4 billion euros to hydrogen infrastructure, and cutting-edge nanotechnology promises to slash fuel cell costs. All this on today's Hydrogen Podcast. First up today is Tata Motors. A titan in the automotive sector initiated a landmark trial for hydrogen-powered Class 8 trucks on February 26th of this year, as reported by NDTV Auto. This initiative sparks a pivotal step towards decarbonizing heavy-duty transport, a sector that accounts for approximately 6% of global CO2 emissions. This according to the International Energy Agency. Tata's pilot launched from their Pune facility in collaboration with Indian Oil Company Limited, or IOCL, involves 2 hydrogen fuel cell trucks designed for long-haul freight. Economically, this is a game changer. India's logistics market, valued at $317 billion in 2023 by Statista, relies heavily on diesel-powered Class 8 trucks, with fuel costs comprising up to 60% of operating expenses. Hydrogen offers a compelling alternative. While initial production costs for green hydrogen remain high, estimated at $3 to $6 per kilogram by the Hydrogen Council, scaling infrastructure could drive down this to $1.50 per kilogram by 2030, rivaling diesel's $1.20 per kilogram equivalent in energy terms. Tata's trial leverages their partnership with Cummins, initiated in 2022, to refine hydrogen combustion and fuel cell technologies, potentially reducing vehicle costs by 15 to 20% over time through economies of scale. The Indian government's National Hydrogen Mission, backed by a $2.4 billion investment through 2030, amplifies this effort. IOCL's commitment to establishing refueling stations, potentially 50 by 2027, each costing around $2 to $3 million each, could create a network supporting 1,000 hydrogen trucks annually, generating $50 to $70 million in fuel revenue. And for Tata Motors, a company with a $45 billion market cap, this positions them as a leader in a nascent market projected to reach $12 billion globally for hydrogen trucks by 2035, that according to Bloomberg NEF. This trial isn't just a technical exercise, it's an economic catalyst. By proving hydrogen's viability across India's diverse terrain, Tata could unlock export opportunities to Southeast Asia and beyond, where freight demand is surging. The positive ripple effects, job creation in manufacturing, reduced oil imports, of which India spent $157 billion in 2023, and lower carbon penalties under global trade rules, makes this a strategic win. Tata's bold move signals confidence in hydrogen's scalability, setting a precedent for the industry worldwide. Next, let's look at Spain, where Enagas, the nation's gas grid operator, unveiled plans on February 18th of this year to invest 4.04 billion euros, or approximately $4.18 billion by 2030, with hydrogen infrastructure as the centerpiece. This according to MSN. This ambitious commitment allocates 3.13 billion euros, or 75% of the total, to hydrogen projects, and 520 million euros to gas networks, and 225 million euros to Scale Green Energy, a new hydrogen-focused subsidiary. The economics here are striking. Enagas projects that by 2030, hydrogen will contribute 290 million euros to its EBITDA, or its core profit, representing over 40% of the anticipated 690 million euros total, up from negligible levels today. Gas, while still yielding 400 million euros, will see its share shrink as hydrogen ramps up. This shift reflects a broad trend. Europe's hydrogen economy could reach $140 billion by 2030, per the European Commission, with transport as a key driver. Enagas' strategy hinges on the H2 Med corridor, a trans-European hydrogen pipeline co-developed with Portugal and France, backed by $2.85 billion in EU funding. Spain's abundant solar and wind resources, over 60 gigawatts of installed renewable capacity, position it to produce green hydrogen at a targeted $1.80 per kilogram by 2030, down from $4 today. For heavy transport, this could support a network of 150 to 200 refueling stations by decade's end, each costing around $2.5 to $3 million to build, fueling 5,000 to 7,000 Class 8 trucks annually. That's a potential $200 million yearly revenue stream for Enagas and its partners. The company's financing plan is equally robust. By divesting non-core assets worth 1.2 billion euros and optimizing dividends, Enagas ensures liquidity without straining its $5 billion market cap. While short-term EBITDA dips to 650 million euros in 2025, the long-term payoff is clear. A diversified portfolio resilient to declining gas demand, which fell 7% in Spain last year. For investors, this signals stability. Hydrogen's growth offsets gas's decline, promising steady returns. And for the heavy transport sector, Enagas's network could cut refining times to 20 to 15 minutes versus hours for battery electric trucks, boosting fleet efficiency by 20 to 25%. With EU carbon pricing pushing diesel costs toward $1.50 per liter by 2030, hydrogen's economic edge sharpens. This is a visionary investment, one that positions Spain as a hydrogen hub and accelerates the continent's clean freight revolution. And the third segment today highlights a technological breakthrough with profound economic implications. On February 26th of this year, NanoWork reported that researchers at the University of Chicago developed a novel molybdenum carbide catalyst for hydrogen fuel cells, leveraging nanotechnology to rival platinum's efficiency at a fraction of the cost. Now, this innovation could reshape the economics of hydrogen-powered transport. Fuel cells are the heart of hydrogen trucks, converting hydrogen into electricity with zero emissions. Traditionally, they rely on platinum catalysts, costing between $40,000 and $50,000 per kilogram, and accounting for 40 to 50% of a fuel cell's $80,000 price tag for a Class 8 truck, per the U.S. Department of Energy. Molybdenum carbide, priced at $50 to $70 per kilogram, slashes this cost. The Chicago team's laser-based process, heating the material to 1,000 degrees in milliseconds, creates stable, high-performing nanoparticles, achieving efficiency levels within 5% of platinum's benchmark. The economic upside is transformative. Scaling this catalyst could reduce fuel cell costs by 30 to 40%, dropping the price per truck to $50,000 to $60,000. And for a fleet of 1,000 trucks, that's a $20 to $30 million savings, and capital that operators like Tata Motors could redirect to expand fleets or build refueling stations. Globally, the hydrogen fuel cell market, valued at $3.6 billion in 2023 by Markets and Markets, could triple to $10 to $12 billion by 2030 with such cost reductions, with heavy transport claiming a 25% share. And sustainability adds another layer of value. Platinum mining emits 40 tons of CO2 per kilogram extracted. Molybdenum's lower environmental footprint aligns with net zero goals, potentially unlocking $500 million in carbon credits annually for manufacturers by 2035. The researchers are already collaborating with national labs like Argonne to refine this for industrial use, with commercialization possible in 3 to 5 years. For hydrogen advocates, this is a breakthrough worth celebrating. Cheaper fuel cells means faster adoption. Trucks become profitable sooner, fleets scale quicker, and infrastructure investments like Enagas's pay off faster. This isn't just lab science, it's a catalyst for a hydrogen-powered economy. So let's review these developments. Tata Motors' trials, Enagas's infrastructure, and Nanotechnology's cost breakthroughs form a powerful trifecta for hydrogen and heavy transport. Now, economically, the numbers align. India's $12 billion hydrogen truck market potential, Spain's $200 million refueling revenue stream, and a $20 to $30 million savings per fleet from cheaper fuel cells. Together, they address hydrogen's core hurdles: vehicle viability, refueling networks, and cost, paving the way for a $50 billion global market by 2030, this according to McKinsey's estimates. The synergies are undeniable. Tata's trucks need Enagas-style networks, both benefit from Nanotech's cost cuts. India's $2.4 billion hydrogen mission and Europe's $40 billion hydrogen strategy through 2030 provide the policy backbone. For Class 8 trucks, hydrogen offers unmatched advantages: 500 to 700 mile ranges and 15-minute refuels versus batteries 300 miles and hour-long charges. With diesel facing $50 to $70 billion in carbon taxes by 2040, hydrogen's ROI only strengthens. All right, that's it for me, everyone. If you have a second, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a good review on whatever platform it is that you listen to. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, whatever it is. That would be a tremendous help to the show. And as always, if you ever have any feedback, you're welcome to email me directly at info@thehydrogenpodcast.com. So until next time, keep your eyes up and honor one another.